All right, I always like us to repeat so that we remember. What's our annual theme?
Just love.
Just love. And today's title I sort of did in a hurry, Love Each Other Now. And after I came back to it, I said, well, that sounds pretty demanding. That's not really how I meant it. But, you know, if I had fairy dust and I could wish something, it'd be love each other now. Really, what I was thinking about is love in this moment now. And love in this moment now. And in this moment now. Reminding ourselves, if we practice mindfulness and we focus on the now, it's love now, right now. Maybe that should have been the title. Love now, right now. Because we choose each day what to bring into our now, which usually is a lot of mind chatter, right? A lot of stories, a lot of connecting why things are happening like they're happening. Sometimes out there, because of this, because of that, because of this. But that's just a reaction. In each moment, we have the opportunity of what we bring. Choose love. Just love. Rumi says, now is where love breathes. Last week I mentioned, and earlier today I mentioned the master class. Again, I want to intrigue everybody into go take a look at the master class on the internet. And last week I showed a video of Cornel West, a contemporary philosopher, who said, religion has talked about love for ages. The problem is that religion hasn't applied love universally and ubiquitously. And it's not really religion per se, because religion is a philosophy, but it's us, each one of us, that has the opportunity to choose to bring love into every situation, even when it doesn't feel good. You can talk about love a lot, but can you embody love to be love and give it freely to all? Or do you only hold it for those you decide to give it to? I mean, I know when we get mad at people, what do we want to do? Withhold love. And who is that hurting? Yeah. Now, we all have beliefs about love. Many of those expressions of love or understanding of love came when we were a child. So regardless of the kind of family that you grew up in, there were a lot of things that you got without words. It was a feeling that you picked up, right? And in Science of Mind, we very much believe what Jesus said. It is done to you as you believe. Not what you just say and talk about, but what you demonstrate in your own life. And sometimes we think we know what we believe, but what's being demonstrated is not coming back to us. You may have not felt heard or seen, loved or worthy or respected. And unless you consciously intervene, you will continue to ripple out what was experienced when you were younger. We get into situations of life where relationship, job loss or dissatisfaction, finances or health, or into other unhappy situations, and then say, what is standing in my way of this situation? Sometimes it's not easy to figure out what our beliefs are. We don't even realize, because we're so used to the reoccurring thoughts that go through our mind, we don't even catch what we're buying into. It's true that thoughts are things. So when we choose love now, we are sending a love energy vibration out into the world. But thoughts are also things that sometimes we get attached to and just automatically believe as the chatter mind happens, yep, no. Now, when you get into a particular circumstance where you would like to move beyond the pain, the suffering, we suggest working with a Science of Mind practitioner. We have 18 ministers and practitioners here in the center, abundant and grateful, because each of their consciousness continues to rise. We all rise in consciousness with them. But also, I invite you to make a connection and an appointment with them. They're trained in our philosophy, and they know the truth for you, to inspire you, to empower you, and to transform your situation through affirmative prayer. It's a confidential session. We listen, we inquire, and want to pull out of you what is it that you are believing about this particular situation, and how can we discover the false beliefs and help you align them with truth. And when you align them with truth, yes, miracles happen. Now, our process is not the same, but it's similar to Byron Katie's. So this is our book for September, October. Loving What Is. The 4 questions that can change your life. Loving what is. You know what? We spend a lot of time with things in front of us that we want to change. And we cause our own suffering by not accepting what is right in front of us. So her book, her process is called The Work, and it is to discover the truth of the present moment. And it causes you to question what you believe about the stories you tell yourself that cause that suffering. And she asks you to meditate on those questions, because the wisdom is within you. I highly recommend watching Byron Katie's YouTubes. 2 of them that I recommend: How to Listen Without Fear, How to Listen Without Fear, and How to Find Unconditional Love. And I'll just give one example to entice you into the YouTubes that she presents. One woman had a son who had passed away 16 years earlier, and she lived in fear that she would lose her daughter. And as she spoke about that fear of losing her daughter, all of her thoughts were in the future of not having her daughter, while her daughter was right in front of her. And Byron Katie makes very clear, your fear is in the way of connecting with your daughter right here, right now, because you're living in fear. You're missing this precious moment to love right here. Ultimately, we have an addiction in constantly letting our mind wander and then believing in whatever it throws by, creating our stories. Now, any of you who try to practice meditation know this. I love to go for walks. That's one of my meditative practices. And I went on a walk last night saying, looking for love, looking for love. And of course, I see the trees. And also almost makes me want to cry right now and say, those trees, if we stop labeling, yeah, it's a tree. No, It is life giving forth. The flowers, beauty giving forth. Are we grateful for that which is expressing right here in divinity, sacredly, right now? About 20 houses down from my house, about 3 weeks ago, the neighbors had a house fire. And of course, I've walked by it many times, and you just sort of like, whoa. And for anybody who's experienced any aspect of the campfire, whoa. As well as just compassion for those that are still losing houses in wildfires. But as I walked by, I saw that the neighbors had put up a corkboard with Post-its and push pins, and you could write them a note. And the neighbors said, I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. What can I do for you? When you're ready, I know contractors. And I thought, oh, wow. Because I was looking for love. Because I was looking for love. So in your situations, are you looking for love? Or are you looking at fear? Or looking at, what is that? Because even though every situation may have some ugliness, there is something there being pointed to. You wouldn't suffer if you didn't have some kind of attachment to it. So love is always being demonstrated to us. Are we opening our eyes to what's coming right before us? What's showing right before us? And Byron Katie continues to say, experience what is, not the labels, not the judgment, not the stories, not the in what we see in society. And then I say, go beyond the fray. Show love. What does that mean for you? I don't know. You have a unique expression of love. Whatever that is for you and the connection you have with the person. The Science of Mind textbook from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, says, love is the self-givingness through creation, the impartation of the divine through the human and through nature. Love is an essence, an atmosphere. Love is that which is. Cannot be explained. Words cannot express love, love's depth, or love's meaning. Love just is. So I invite you for your spiritual practice this week to walk with the eyes of love and contemplate not about love, just sitting in your chair being love. Don't be surprised if your seat warms up, because our brain is a chemistry lab. I could tell you a fearful story right now and you could go, or I could tell you something beautiful and you could go, that's all because of the mind. Let the wave of energy of being love radiate through your being and ripple out to the world. People will notice it, but they don't know what to call it. I had somebody, as I led mindfulness at the university, say, you started the process of mindfulness and I just fell apart. And I said, what have you been holding? What have you been holding back? Let it be. Let it be, let it be. Rumi says, love generates love. And let me ask you, do we need more love in the world? You are the answer to bring love into each moment. And I have a very exciting love project for all of us. Are you with me in it? Yes. Some of you say, I don't know. I need to know. I hope you choose to accept this wonderful mission. The CSL Chico board has met with the CSL Paradise board because CSL Paradise is requesting an integration with CSL Chico. CSL Paradise has experienced lots of loss. The Paradise community, a big loss. CSL Paradise, their building, their friends, their members, people being distributed across the United States, going to other places for a place to live, loss of ministers, lots of loss. They need our love. And I'm so honored that they chose us. November 8th marks the 4th anniversary of the campfire. Leanne, will you? Leanne is a board member. So for the last 3 or 4 weeks, again, the boards have met. It's not final, but we're working on and excited about the possibilities. And when CSL Paradise first lost their building, we offered them the center and they met after we met in the mornings. Thank you. And so for a year, you know, they had keys, they had boxes, their mail came here, they had their inspirational services here, their in reception hall, the social hour afterwards. And they gave us in gratitude, it says literally in gratitude, they gave us this picture. You know what this picture is? The peace pole out front of their building, okay? What's the only thing that made it through the fire? Guess what they would like us to bring to CSL Chico? And Anne, I know we've been waiting for you because we've thought about doing some dryscaping in the front because we have a lawn and we love Mother Earth and we care about the drought and want to use less water. And now I know why we've been waiting. Because this can become a centerpiece on the opposite end of where we just put our flagpole of Mother Earth and coexist in rainbow colors. I have a vision that this peace pole, as we integrate on November 8th, will be celebrated in our front yard. So, do you choose to accept the mission to love?
Yes.
Easy. That's easy. So there'll be more meetings to step towards this integration. I will be meeting with Reverend Christine Green, who's the interim minister. There's a lot of logistics. CSL Paradise, of course, is still involved in the PG&E settlement. So, you know, how does all that look? What does all that mean? Of course, lots of business to do. But as CSL Chico, we've experienced an integration once before. In 2016, CSL Greater Chico and Chico New Thought Center for Spiritual Living integrated together to become Center for Spiritual Living Chico. So we've done this before. And again, I believe this is a very special opportunity. And I know that not that anything was wrong with 2016, but I learned many things. And the one thing I want to make sure is many of them, of course, based on Paradise, have still been meeting online. So they asked if we have been streaming. Yes, we have, but they use Facebook Live. Full circle. I love the synergy because as we met 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago with the social media coordinator that we hired, she said, well, do you stream on Facebook Live? And I said, no, we do YouTube and Zoom. And she said, well, Facebook Live allows those that are on to be able to say that they're interested, that it pops up on their computer or their phone when you're in the middle of a lesson and maybe they forgot. And she went on and on and on about the advantages of Facebook Live. Synergy? For me, that's when I know I am aligned with the will of a higher power and greater wisdom. So much for today. So much that is just heart fulfilling. And so I just want to, again, ask that each of you, as you move out into your week, your day, that you come back to the center of knowing, I am love. Repeat after me, I am love. I am the center for spiritual living. And I bring love right now. Love now. Just love. And so it is. In case you're, thank you. And so just in case you didn't have enough heart filled, this time Brittany